Okay, welcome back one more time. So we saw Manchester City take another loss tonight in the Champions League, this time against Juventus. They are now 22nd in the table. It's troubled times for Manchester City. We've had Alessandro and Micah be over in Turin all evening long. They've spoken to Pep Guardiola. Let's listen in.
So Pep, obviously the loss tonight. How frustrating is it that you dominate the possession, but you're not able to put the chances away in this moment in time?
Yeah, maybe we missed the last pass. We arrived in the byline many times and short in the 6-yard box, so we are there. So the game is there. So I know the results. We cannot defend absolutely anything when the results, except that we are not. But in the way we play and we are doing, I'm really pleased. So I'm with them and we'll be with them.
But what's changed in the last sort of 10 games or this season where people keep asking me questions, what's wrong with City? I'm saying they're doing all the right things, but they're not they're controlling the game, but when they're supposed to score, they're not killing games off. What's changed in these last 10 games that you're only winning one and you're drawing games and you're losing this amount of games? What's changed for you? What's different about the results now, would you say?
No, we don't win games.
But what reason?
There are many reasons. Many reasons. We have a lot of problems in when you play without the 3 central defenders, the 2 holding midfielders, the structure in the middle, had to be stability. So always you suffer. But the team today, the play was really, really good, and we performed really well against Juventus at Turin away, and as a strong team and really good in transition in set pieces, and they play and congratulate them and accept it. So face the situation and always accept 1 or 2 games. In this period was not really good. The rest, we were there. It was just the results. Of course, we missed something and it happened, but we have to insist and what we are, our strength as a team, like bring us in the place that we have done in the last decade, and the people is going to come back step by step, and we have to, of course, change. We need 1 point or 3 points to qualify for the first 24. And if it's happened in February, we'll see how he is in the Premier League, continue to try to get the results.
Okay, so a lot of action here to tap up, isn't there, Clint? Lots to talk about. Yes, why not? It was a very big night for Juventus against Manchester City in Turin, played in front of their home fans. Big night for Weston McKennie, for the Americans as a whole over there at Juventus.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see. They came on as subs and they did the business. I think it's the first time in history that American to American and a goal for the Champions League. So, yeah, shout out to those boys coming on and do their thing. And then Weah with the Christmas package to McKennie. And what a volley it was.
Packaging. They knew you were here. That's right. They had to do it.
You know, they had to show up and show out, man. It's good to see. You know, you talk about what Americans are doing. Hey, boys, that's what we're doing.
They're doing it. Brilliant.
What's Pep thinking right now?
Why did I sign that contract? That's what he's thinking.
Lost 6 out of their last 7 away games, 1 win in all 10 in 10 in all competitions. It's so un-Manchester City, like in the modern Manchester City era, right?
You can't believe what you're seeing. I mean, this is a massive crisis. I mean, this was a crisis 2 or 3 weeks ago. I mean, the greatest manager and most successful manager possibly of all time, he's got no answers for it right now. He hasn't. He's tried different things, you know, different systems, maybe players in different positions, and a manager as great as him is really, really struggling and finding it tough. And he's never gone through this before, so he's got no experience of this situation. He's got nothing to fall back on and really look at, you know, that because he's been so successful in the past. So it's yeah, I think it's a real eye opener, and I think there's probably a lot of coaches around the world actually looking at Pep and with a wry smile, not enjoying what he's going through, but just thinking, finally, Pep Guardiola's going through something that we've all been through at some stage in our career.
Let's take you out to Turin to get some immediate reaction from over there, because we've got Alessandro Del Piero, we've got Micah Richards. Micah, you were loving the atmosphere. Oh, the atmosphere is incredible. How does it feel now?
I feel deflated.
We can see with
contrasting emotions.
Can see with your heart.
I'll let you go first. Great
I
man
go
for
first.
you,
I mean, great game for Juve. You know, they show what they're doing the best. You know, compact in the defense. You know, don't concede too many spaces. And on the other side, great in counter-attack. I mean, Juve scored 2 goals in counter-attack, and because they are good, and because, from my perspective, also Man City has a lack of intensity when they have to run back and defend. That's one of the major issues from my point of view about Man City. But Juve, great game, great atmosphere, pushing all the time, so good.
Alessandro, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want you to pass on this question to Micah.
Yeah, I'll translate for you.
Okay, no problem.
So Jamie want to go ahead, Jamie.
Okay.
Translate straight away.
Ok. C'è una crisi con il City adesso, no?
Huh?
He spoke in Italian.
You got to do better than
Say
that.
it again.
C'è una crisi con il City adesso, no?
Bravo, Jamie. Yes. There is. I say that there is a
in
crisis, some problem for City.
Yeah, there's a crisis. I mean, to be fair, in fairness to Jamie, he said there's a crisis, or it's looking like a crisis, probably about 3 weeks ago now. I didn't think there was at the time. I just thought it was going through a little bit of a blip. But now, I mean, it's been proven right. I think we have to address it. It's 1 win in 10 now. That they've not got the answers. They look like they have all the possession. They've not got the cutting edge in front of goal. Go back to the first half with Haaland's chance. A little dink, normally that goes in. But just on the transition, and I've said it all season, it was same last season, and times they could recover from it. But this season, they just can't recover. I mean, it's weird to see this team in this situation where last 4 years, 4 Premier Leagues, the winner Champions League, normally so confident. They look like their confidence has been shot, and especially
it's
watching
like your
it live
confidence
here
has
today.
been shot, Micah. You're looking down, your hat's on backwards, your glasses are off. It's like you've given up on life.
I've given up. You know what? This is the last time I travel on the road. It was all going so good until this.
Well, the City need a spark, need something that happened, because when they got punched like tonight, they concede a goal. They start to, moving the ball faster and create opportunities, because they had opportunity to score 1-1, but something is missing. Something is missing. So unless we're gonna ask to someone about that, because it's weird that you have that intensity, but you cannot show it straight away. So that's something missing in these things. Of course, it's new for them, having this number of losses. I mean, they lost 7 games in 3 years, probably. So this is a new situation. So when you are not used to, it could be a problem, because you don't know how to react straight away. They need to figure it out how.
Big Meeks. You're talking about what Manchester City need. You look so subdued. They maybe need Big Meeks in the mix zone. Liven up. These lads need a lift. You've sat there for years and watched them. They've given you so many nights of joy. Now they need Big Meeks. I want to see you with Jack Grealish and Pep Guardiola in that mix zone, giving them the energy that they need. You got a Manchester derby at the weekend.
Jamie, I don't think it's the right timing, Jamie. I mean, there's a time to be happy, there's a time to be sad. At the moment, I'm sad, but you know what? I'm not going to let it get down, Big Meeks, because we've had a great couple of days.
Yeah,
Let's lift
amazing.
the mood,
What about the wine?
You win some, you lose some. We've had some good vino, some good risotto,
yes.
a pasta,
Paccheri.
bellissimo.
Don't forget the snooze.
So,
We had a great time.
We're still going.
Just the last three hours was the bad.
What did you say there, Jamie? Snooze.
Don't forget the snooze. You need a bit of snooze. Give him his gear back.
Oh, well, yes.
All right, guys.
We'll be back soon with some interviews.
Yes, we look forward to it.
Happy late birthday, Del Piero.
Thank you, Clint. I mean, actually, tonight was a great birthday gift from this stadium.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. We'll see you in a very short while. We're going to go to a break very quickly. We'll be back in just a minute. We've got more Champions League to wrap up. We've got loads of games to wrap up, actually, for you. Bring you all the highlights, analysis, interviews, all of that in a minute after this break. Welcome back, everybody. It's so good to have you still with us as Jamie checks his Twitter, as he does in every commercial break.
Just checking all the results and all the scores.
You're on a different
the
page.
stats
It's
to
a
make sure I'm
lie.
up to
He was
date.
on a different page.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Anywho, as Micah says, let's talk about Juventus against Manchester City. 2-0 was the final score in this one. Let's go through the two goals. Dusan Vlahovic with the first. Thierry.
Look, it was always going to be the case. City on the ball, Juve was going to counter, and they caught them twice on the counter. You see them obviously here being at the end of the counter. Ball's going to come in. Gatti is going to try a bicycle kick. I don't know what Guardiola is trying to do. He's trying to play Kyle Walker. Yildiz puts the ball in the second post. Ederson should have done better for me. And then it's a goal from Vlahovic. Out of, I won't say nowhere because we knew they're going to operate on the counter. But I think for me, Ederson should have done better. Guardiola should have done better. Kyle Walker is not fast enough to stop the cross from Yildiz. And as we can see here, the ball past the line and Vlahovic obviously goes to celebrate.
And then here they come, the Americans. Woo! The Americans save the day.
Say that again. One more time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that was great to see the super subs come on and save the day, against City, which is a big team. And it's American to American. Weston McKennie with the good ball out to Weah, who then gets wide and tries to put in an early cross, gets the ball back, has the cool calmness to pick him out. With the holiday package, McKennie, what does he do? He's proving people wrong that he should be in there. What a finish, what a result for the boys. But what's surprising is this is 10 goals that Man City's conceded in 5 games. For an organized team, that's not good enough, huh?
No, it's not right. But it's a great goal, as you said. The two Americans coming on. Timing fantastic. Puts the game away from Manchester City. Top scorer in America.
Look at McKennie's coming.
Oh, yeah, we're going to speak to Weston McKennie as well, so make sure you stick around for that. America, we will be speaking to him
I think an interesting
show.
question for this man. Do you think those two would have been better off staying and playing in the MLS?
I'm going to say hell no. I think they're where they need to be. What was TT? What do you say?
I'm reading.
Your talent is where you need to be? What do you say? The talent is where you need to be?
No, the talent will bring you where you need to be. You follow your talent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just give me a glass.
Do your research.
Manchester City. Let's talk about it, Jamie. What's your take?
I think what this has proven is the best coach in the world for me hasn't got the answers for it. And what that tells you then is this isn't a tactical problem. Really, this is when players in a certain position, the legs go. And no matter who you are as the manager, you can't fix that. And it reminds me a little bit of Liverpool 2 years ago, when Liverpool had Henderson and Fabinho in midfield. And Liverpool that season finished outside the Champions League. They finished 5th. And I think Manchester City have got a real fight on their hands to be in this competition next season. I don't see them finishing in the top 3 in the Premier League above Liverpool, Chelsea or Arsenal. They could finish 4th, but the way they're going, this has to stop very quickly. I mean, 1 win in 10. They've lost, what would you say it was before, 6?
Who's their next game against? PSG, right?
Yes, that's in this competition, but the next game for Pep Guardiola, he'll just be thinking about the Manchester derby
Would you
at the weekend.
For like that?
He's like Micah.
Hey, we cool like that. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, you all right?
But I think it just reminds me so much of Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, we've said for the last sort of 5 or 6 years, going head to head, the 2 top maybe managers in world football along with Ancelotti. And Jurgen Klopp couldn't fix that when players' legs had gone in midfield, and he had to wait till the summer to fix it. And I think he'll hopefully try and fix that in January from his point of view, but it may take till the end of the season, and that's why I think they've got a real fight on their hands to be in this competition next season.
Potentially no Manchester City in the Champions League next season. You know what that means, Clint?
Mike is going to be sad.
No.
He's not going to be here.
Be an opening.
Oh!
Might be time to throw your ring in the hat.
I don't know.
No? Don't fancy the Sofitel on a weekly basis?
I'm like Batman. Put the signal in here, I'll be here.
All right, we're going to talk about a couple of other games after the... Very warm welcome back to our studios in London. We're going to take you straight out to Turin because, yes, Manchester City lose. Weston McKennie comes on the show. What a match day this was.
With the turtleneck on.
Welcome.
Where's the eggnog at?
Anna, you take over for us. Do the first question for us. Do the honors.
Yes, of course. Grande partita, grande vittoria, grande gol.
You said it. No, it was definitely a big moment, for the team with the situation that we've been in. I think we talked about it yesterday before the game, and we just wanted to come out here, give the best that we could. We knew it was going to be a difficult game because Man City is a team that's all about possession and can punish you with the one action. So we knew what type of game it was going to be, and with the situation we're in, we wanted to win this game to boost our confidence to keep going forward in the league.
Can I ask you about your goal? The technique? Did you mean it?
I was falling over, honestly. I'm just playing. No, you've seen it before. I did it also against Barcelona, so I got it in the locker every once in a while.
Okay. Jamie, you got something to say? I know you got something to say with your big mouth.
Weston, you made a huge difference, obviously, from the bench. Great goal. I want to congratulate you on that. But on this show, we always ask, when we interview one of the players, who's your favourite on the show?
Too soon,
but
man.
I'm going to ask you something a little different tonight. Who is your favourite US men's soccer player of all time?
This guy.
Look, Weston is already sweating.
No. I'm not even trying to gas up or nothing. It's been Clint. I can't.
That's Hey, Weston, what they know about them Texas boys?
Hey, exactly.
Oh, you're sweating.
The first time I met... Yeah, no, I'm sweating, but it's hot. It's hot here. I can't lie, it's hot. No, but the first time I met Clem was he was roommates with Kellen Acosta. It was in Dallas, so and he walked in with his little baggy jeans and white T-shirt.
Hey, Weston.
What's up, dog?
Hey, for real, on a real note, man. I was talking the other day about how I identify with you in terms of what you had to deal with. Every season you have to prove yourself. Seems like you're kind of on the outs and you have to fight your way to get back into the team. And I just want to know, how good does it feel to be able to prove people wrong and show that you should be in the starting lineup when you're fit?
No, I mean, definitely. That's something that I've, being American, being over here, it's something that you deal with. But I like it. I like when people doubt me. I think I play my best football when people doubt me. And, I've proven again and again. So, I mean, as long as I got people that doubt me, I see good football, hopefully. So, it's fine with me.
Weston, I wanted to ask you, we've got Big Meeks there. He's on the road. He's now an interviewer, but he's been a little bit subdued because of the result. And me and him have been having a little debate of late that his team, Manchester City, are in big crisis. I mean, you've just played against him. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, it seems like he should suit back up and go back out if he wants to.
Hey, Weston. Hey, you didn't see the highlight when Del Piero crossed him up and broke his ankles before the show, did you?
No, I saw that. I saw that.
Clint, don't you stop.
Hey, I miss you.
That's why he changed suits. Look at this. You guys got me sweating over here.
Wow. You nervous, baby?
A little bit. I've never been in front of someone with big aura and everything.
Oh, yeah, Big Mix is real, isn't it? Yeah, it's not big, it's real. But what can I ask you, though?
Wait, hang on a
Who's
minute.
your favourite on the show?
Oh, my God.
Titi, hold on 1 minute. It's my time to shine, please, sir. Who's your favourite on the show?
I'm going to have to go with Clint, then I'm going to have to go... Listen.
Clint's not a regular?
Let me talk. And then I'm going to have to go with Titi because his reactions are too funny when I watch him.
Ooh, what reactions are they?
I was about to talk about the game. Weston, I have one for you. First and foremost, I want to give you your flowers because last year you passed the whole year playing as a wing-back. You didn't say anything. You battled it. This year you're playing in the position that I think suits you better. But you're coming up with goals, you're participating a lot, you're making moves. Is that because of what Thiago Motta wants? I know he's not happy with obviously having to draw a lot of games like that, but I think right now you are in the box and you're scoring more goals because you are in the position that suits you way more.
No, definitely. I mean, obviously, I'm a type of player that wants the success for the team, whatever role I got to play. As long as I'm on the pitch, even if I'm off the pitch, I try to support. But the big thing is being in that position, the 8 position, I like whenever I'm not really contained, when I have the freedom to just, run and let my energy out because I'll always be able to get back to my position. So if I have a coach that, allows me to do that and make my runs in behind and arrive late in the box, then, I have more opportunities to score more goals. It just depends on if it goes in the back of the net or not.
Weston, I just want to ask you one last question, and I think because of the night that you've had, this is a show that goes out in the United States. You should have the deciding vote. Should Clint Dempsey be staying in the studio? And should Big Meeks stay on the road, or should Big Meeks come back to the studio? I think it's down to you to decide.
Oh, man. Clint, what do you like more?
Man, I don't want to hurt Micah's feelings, man. I'm gonna let him come back. I'll just come, you know, be the super sub every now and then. You know what I'm saying? So I let him do his thing. But hey, much love, bro. I'm glad to see you doing your thing.
Thank you.
Weston,
Thank you. I think Big Meeks likes being here because it gets him closer to the pitch.
Yeah, I like that.
I know you didn't have that as a player.
You know?
Weston,
I'm flexible, baby.
I have one for you. Micah always wants to know about trim and whatever. Can you take his hat off, please?
Come on, Weston. Go on, Weston.
Waving? Are you supposed to be waving or what?
Whoa! Whoa!
It's a very big
Weston!
Okay, I'm there with you.
D-Boy's coming!
I ain't seen my barber. I ain't seen my barber.
You have to see
in a
everybody.
whole week.
What? He's in hiding. No wonder he cost $300.
Weston, we do have to ask you, because obviously we've seen you featuring in the Christian Pulisic documentary, which has just started playing on Paramount+. There is another year to go until 2026, until the World Cup. Obviously, CBS is trying to shine some light on the U.S. players. Do you think there should be a Weston McKennie documentary?
Of course.
Would you open those doors? Are you open to allowing us into your life like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you guys wanna
Pay you.
see the life and everything and see my personality, I mean, to see more behind my personality than is already out there, then sure, you guys are more than welcome.
So you're saying if the money's right, you'll do it?
That's about right.
Hey, tell him if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Exactly.
Can I ask you one more question before you go? What was your time like in Leeds? Fellow Leeds brother here, you know? Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this. You know, Leeds as a club, the people within the club, I liked. The city itself and, you know, the surroundings, it was a little bit hard. It was always gray. I had a sunlight window in my house, and there was never any sun coming through. So it was
Chapeltown, baby. Chapeltown, baby.
So yeah. Did you go to Chapeltown though? Some Maureen's for some chicken and rice.
No. No Sunday roast, no nothing, bro. I was alone.
You was in the posh areas.
Even then, my area was like no area. There was nothing around me.
You used to come to CBT, baby.
Oh my goodness! I went up to see Harry Potter World, and I don't even know where it was. Like an hour away. I went up there. That's it. That's the only thing I did. And golf. That was it.
Shade. Alessandro, we would love to hear from you, because obviously Juventus legend. Just your thoughts on Weston McKennie and his journey at Juventus.
I think it's precious the fact that, you know, and today is the proof. We're talking about your revenge, about, you know, when people say, oh, you shouldn't start at first 11, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, you come onto the pitch in a big game, ready mentally and physically. So that's, I think, is a quality as well. You know, understanding what's going on, understanding what the team needs, because you were starting the action about your goal as well. So how do you keep that kind of energy alive, even, you know, you were coming from an injury, you go into the bench, so there's a lot of things behind that.
No, I mean, you know, like I've said many times before, it's just, you know, trying to do what's best for the team, whatever I'm called upon to do. I've always been a team player. I'm not that selfish. You know, if I'm in front of the goal and there's Dusan on my right, I'll give him the ball, and he's a striker. His job is to score goals. My job is to create plays and make things happen. So, you know, just to be able to do that and get a win out of it is amazing.
Cool, Weston. Congratulations.
Big man.
Well done, my man.
Weston McKennie was the best. Thank you so much.
Young footballer or any players that play football, anyone can lose confidence, and it really, really hurt performance and really hurt form and really hurt outcomes in terms of games and winning games. And I think it should be, listen, City fans will be disappointed. Pep will want, and his players will want to improve this, but I think this is something for young players to look at, and it's a good thing for them to see that the kind of the big macho, the ones that are put up there as the pedestal on the pedestal of being like the formidable characters and individuals, they can crack and creak at moments like this. So never feel that it's you and in isolation, that it's only me that feels like this. The best players can feel like this. So there's a positive for other people to take out of this, I think, to see, to learn from. But for City, there's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes now. They've never been here, and you're going to find out about a lot of the players here, because it's a nice ride to be on, a nice journey to be on when you're winning. When it's not going well, who is going to help you get back on the right, straight and narrow, so back to normality? And Pep will learn a lot about his players in this period.
Absolutely. Look, at 7 defeats now this season. That's the first time that's happened to Pep ever in his career before Christmas, to lose that many games. You are going to rely on your players, and as Rio said, no one is invincible. I think that is what is the clearest thing to see from this run that City are on, and particularly from this game. What went wrong today, Julian, in your mind?
Probably tempo in attack. They seemed very patient. Even when they were behind by 2 goals, it was still very methodical. And I touched on it in commentary. Make defenders defend, force errors. You may not get it from the first attack, but the sustained crossing of the ball, we've seen it from Juventus' point of view. They were just putting balls in the box, not needlessly, but with the hope of getting something from it. It causes confusion. So Man City need to find an alternative to scoring the perfect goal and then it looking slick and it being a great pass and a great touch and a great finish. Maybe just create some uncertainty in the opposition that leads to a tap-in.
It's kind of finding a scrappy way of winning, but at the moment we're just seeing scrappy and we're just not seeing wins.
Yeah, and I think it's like you say, that they get to the final third of the pitch and it's... Listen, I don't think it's too dissimilar to what we see when they were in form and confident. They were methodical, they were patient. But I think the turnovers are killing them massively. As soon as they turn the ball over, they look vulnerable. Teams are slicing through them, running off players. There's big holes in big spaces on the pitch for teams to exploit, and they're getting punished, and that's a big key as well.
Yeah, teams are being very efficient with their attacks, and we all talk about the confidence of City, but they're also losing the fear factor from the opposition. That's a big thing. I think we touched on it when Rio played for United. You went there and you was in fear. If they went in front, you was in fear. But then all of a sudden, when that goes, it just breeds confidence to the opposition. So,
but you've never seen it go out of a team so quick. Like dominant teams like the Chelseas or the Arsenals or even the teams that I played in and before me, I don't think the dominance was kind of zapped out of the team and that fear factor was taken out immediately like this. This is like in like a 7 or 8 game spell where Juventus 3 months ago, I don't think they approached this game on the front foot as confidently as they do today. That's football, but a team that's been so dominant, it's so surprising to see that change so quickly.
Yeah, it's been their armour, hasn't it?
It's the ball and just lose balls and go on transition every time, you know, and give them like counter-attacks and have to chase every time like, I don't know, 50, 60 meters back, and that's not what we're built for, you know. We are built for possession, you know, and keep the ball, be strong, you know, and even if you cannot do anything in a duel, just don't lose it, you know. And at the moment, it's just not working out for us.
You speak there about overcomplicating stuff when you want to make it simpler. Is that a confidence thing? Do you almost think the confidence is shot a little bit at the minute?
It's a big part of it, and obviously that's a mental issue as well. I feel like you can see that, you know, like we are sometimes, you know, like one action we miss the ball, or I don't know, we lose a duel, and you see like that we drop, you know, immediately, you know, and that we, you know, lose the rhythm, and they are able to break our rhythm, you know, with the smallest of things, and they don't even need to do much, you know, and it's just has such a big effect on us right now, even more, you know, you have to do the simple things, you know, and the simple things as good as possible, you know, and quick and, you know, and clean, fluidly, and then, it's going to work out again. This is how you get the confidence back, you know, even in a game, you know, if you miss something, if you miss a ball, if you lose a duel, by doing the small and simple things, you get that confidence back, and it feels like in a crucial moment at the moment we are always doing the wrong things.
Obviously, you're trying every training session and every game to resolve the problems at the minute, but does it feel like you're slightly running out of ideas and you're not really sure how to react because you've won so much over the years?
No, it's actually it's the opposite. I feel like we know exactly what's going wrong, you know, and we know the reasons. And still, if you look at you know the most part of the games, and even today, we actually don't play bad. I feel like, you know, we play quite good football, you know, and we create chances. We just miss to score, and then obviously in these kind of games, you know, and if you give away one chance and they score, it's not that easy, you know, to come back, to bounce back. And I just feel like it's even to ourselves so obvious, you know, what's going wrong. It's just, you know, trying to find the switch, you know, to turn things around, because even though we are not getting the results, it doesn't feel like that we are far off. At least it's my personal feeling, which may sound paradox right now and maybe a little bit stupid, but that's what I feel. Yeah, as long as as we don't find that click, it's going to be tough. So the only thing right now we can do is every single player individually has to question himself what to do better, you know, and how the player can individually sacrifice more, you know, to contribute to the team, so we can get collectively, you know, back on our way.
Lovely. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've all been listening to that, saying what a great interview that is. He answers the question so well, so passionately. He said some really interesting things, guys, in that interview. He's talking about how they're careless in duels, the timing just isn't right. They're overcomplicating even the most simple things. And when it goes wrong, when they lose their rhythm, their heads drop. He's admitting to all of that. And in terms of actually turning it around, he's saying, well, we actually do know what to do. That winning run that we've always had is actually a good thing for them. It gives them knowledge. But what is missing is that they can see what's going wrong. They know what they have to do, but they just can't put it into action. And it feels like that is because there's a lack of confidence. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's what he's stating. I think the fact that he's saying they're misplacing passes, holding on the ball for too long, it's a lack of rhythm. And again, the confidence factors, you want it to be a little bit more safer. You don't want to risk the ball as much when you know if you give it away. Like he said, we're going to have to run 50, 60 yards in transitions, and we're not good at transitions. So he's aware of it, and it's easier said than done than to just turn it on and off like a light. I think sometimes, having been in situations when the confidence is low, you need a little bit of luck. You don't create it out of brilliant play. You just create it out of a bit of luck and think, oh, we're fortunate there, and all of a sudden...
At the end of the first half, they scored out, the game's different.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I think trying to rectify it perfectly, it may not work like that. I think you may just have to ride the luck, ride the storm, and not be as methodical in the way they want to play, and as beautiful as what we've seen them play over recent years. It's a case of, well, we just need to get the job done.
I think one of the telling things from that interview, which I think he's so articulate as well, and obviously he's got huge experience, but one of the things I took from that, it feels like there's almost, without saying it, there's a bit of a broken mentality in the group from being a team that are built with players who, one of their strengths is that if they make mistakes, whether with the ball or without the ball, it's quickly forgotten. And that's one of Pep's big things, that a hallmark of his great players, and they have a lot of them over the years. We've seen that. Make a mistake, move on, it's not a problem. They're making mistakes now, and there's a hangover for probably the next 3 or 4 phases of play or actions, and that's when big mistakes start happening. And we saw they conceded a goal, they capitulated, and you think there's going to be another one at any point. And so that's a big problem. And I think there seems to be a confusion with how to react and what to do. And like you say, he sounds like they've got their fingers on the pulse of what's going on, because there's so many people analysing the games, there's so much data, so that they're going to know everything, where the problem is. But getting humans out on the pitch who are lacking confidence to go and do that, who are not used to this, is the difficult part. And that's where we're asking now, Pep, can you go and do that? Can you go and answer that call to build these players back up, to make them immortal again like they were?
But you wonder if they can be, because this is the lineup isn't what we've seen over the last few years. There are some younger players, fresher players, who are still learning the trade and still learning to have that elite mentality.
They can. You can't be successful as they've been and not be able to get this back on track. They must be able to, because you can't be that far ahead of everybody else and to be caught up and taken over and be almost like in everyone's slipstream now. That can't be right.
Yeah, this is just a dip in form. Man City aren't going to be this bad for the remaining of the season, for years to come, and the remaining of Pep's tenure. So, yeah, it's unprecedented for him and his group of players, and that's the key. It's not trying to flip it back on its head and be great again. It's stop the rot. How do we stop this from happening this period of time? And whenever you're not going well and results are not great, you want games. And they're going into the festive period now where there's game after game after game. So hopefully there's a chance to again, not totally flip momentum on its head, but stop the rot and then just have difference in results and performances.
They couldn't ask for a better game than the one that's coming at the weekend, by the way. The Manchester derby against Man United. If they want to get themselves back on track, it won't reinstill every bit of confidence and it won't paper over all the cracks, but it'll go a huge way to team and squad if they were to get a result. But I'm backing the mighty Reds. Who are in great form as well, by the way.
Confidence, Who are you backing then,
So it's a battle of no confidence, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, it's two-sided. That's why that tie will be so intriguing, because it is two sides that sort of want to impress again. But, you know, they have a lot to do, don't they? They've got to go almost back to the drawing board. And you saw that in the goals that Juve scored against them. I mean, this is not Manchester City, is it? Defensively, the lack of cohesion, the lack of understanding between these players. I mean, this is the first goal, Vlahovic. Talk us through this one, Julian.
Again, there's a number of errors here. Diaz not being tight initially, then Guardiola slashing at the ball, Kyle Walker potentially not getting out as fast as he can. Again, you're just trying to find a way to defend, and there the confidence is overhit the pass, and Kyle Walker can stop the cross. But then here, for me, this is something that Mourinho spoke about prior to the game. It was kind of, defenders aren't being taught how to defend these scenarios anymore, and I've always been taught when a striker can see your number, you are not in control of that situation. And at this moment, that moment in time, Guardiola couldn't do anything. It was a great cross and a great header, but in regards to being able to defend it, he didn't have a clue where he was.
2-0 was all about the transitions that we were talking about, how they're so easy to cut through this side in midfield. You can take a look at this. And this was error stream, wasn't it?
Yeah, first Doku gives the ball away, which is fine out that part of the pitch. But here, you don't defend your position, you defend where you are on the pitch. And Rico Lewis has to stay, I think, in the middle of the pitch with McKennie. They cross over there, you see Vardiel and Rico Lewis cross over, and then they're just playing catch-up and chasing shadows. Vardiel, I don't know why he gets attracted to the front post like that. His man is in the middle of the goal, coming on the penalty spot, and he's unaware of where he is. But I think earlier here, in this position here, I don't know why Vardiel and Rico Lewis cross over there, because they really make it so much more difficult for themselves. Wherever you play, as a full-back or centre-half, wherever you are, if you end up in centre midfield, you defend that area until you communicate it differently from someone behind you. There was no communication, and they get themselves in a bit of a sticky situation. But you have to say it's a wonderful cross and a wonderful finish.
Yeah, the subs really combined well, didn't they, for Juventus to score that goal. It finished 2-0 then out in Turin, and we're hoping to get more reaction from
Pep. It felt like a nearly night for City in that final third. What's your assessment of it?
Well, we play good, really good. So we missed the last pass, the last action, and we arrived, so we conceded few. Of course, some transition happened, but I'm so proud for this player. And I think that they give everything and they tried, and now we live in this period, and hopefully we can change. We got results. I know it's difficult, to win always is difficult in Champions League in Europe, but we play really good.
Ilkay Gundogan just said he feels like he knows what's wrong, and they overplay and overcomplicate things, and it just needs to be a bit simpler at times. Do you think that's a confidence issue at all with inside?
He said that we need...
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, he just said that at times he feels like they play the pass that's too complicated and they need to just play it simpler.
No, we have done it today. And other days no, but today we have done it. We have done it really well. We didn't lose many balls that happened in the past, and we tried, we arrived in the positions, but against Italian teams, they defend so deep and so compact is not easy. They're a master of these kind of situations, but even with that, we play who we are and we miss the result, but the performance is there.
I appreciate you've got other games, you've got a big game derby at the weekend, but within this competition, is there slight nerves now with only 2 games to go, because the PSG game is huge?
Yeah, well, we have 2 games, we need 1 point maybe. 1 victory, we have 2 games, one in the last one at home, and the situation is with the game against Feyenoord and especially Inter Milan, that we played really good as well, and the Feyenoord over 3-0 15 minutes that create the problems. But when you go in Sporting de Lisboa in the moment you had in that moment and go to Turin, Paris, our 3 games away were really tough, and you had to accept it. And we will, when we turn around, we don't forget that period. We'll appreciate more that we have done in the past, what we are going to do in the future, and now it's continue to do it.
Yeah, look, he's obviously hurting, but he's saying, you know, they're living in this period. It's interesting because Ilkay Gundogan said that, you know, the team probably overcomplicated a lot of things on the pitch, whereas he's saying, actually, the performance was there. We didn't lose too many balls. We did okay. What do you make of that, Julian?
Yeah, we obviously value and analyse the game differently, but he did mention about there being the last action, and whether that being an attack or defence. I think the problem for Man City is final thirds. I think the middle of the pitch, they're quite comfortable for the majority of the game, but when they do get to the final third, if it's not fast enough, then teams are able to get back and get compact and be hard to break down. And again, when they're defending, it's kind of the total opposite. They're allowed to be free. The teams are allowed to put balls into the box, and I can't remember many times where defenders are putting their body on the line to block a shot, to block a cross, which hasn't been the reality of City. I think I can remember a few years ago when we were applauding Diaz and John Stones for celebrating blocks and stuff like that. So again, there's just a different energy and outcome to the both of the final thirds.
I think when you look at them, I think any moment they had today that was positive in the final third when they had the ball was when they sped up the game. Mm-hmm. The moment they changed gears in that final third, the Kevin De Bruyne chance he created for Haaland, again, plays the ball quick, great pace on the ball, but it's making decisions quick, and execution was right. And the moment they slowed down and allowed teams, like Pep said there, to get into a low block and then make it hard for them, when you have no confidence and you're lacking that confidence and belief, that makes it 10 times harder than what it was normally before when they were immortal. So it's going to be different, it's going to be harder, but he's got to rebuild that confidence now. And listen, there's no better person for that to do that than someone like Pep Guardiola, with the experience and the amount that he's won. But these are tough times for Man City. Their fans now are going to have to go through a different phase for the last, I don't know however many years it's been. They've been so successful, and they've been able to gloat and been able to take the mick out of people. They're going to be the butt of a few jokes now and have to take it on the chin.
They have to take it on the chin, and especially in this competition, when you look at where they are, they're 22nd at the moment. 25 and below, you're eliminated, but, you know, there's only 1 point separating them from that position, and they could easily turn it around. But then you've got to look at the games that they've got coming up as well. In January, they've got PSG away, they've got Chelsea at home, they've got Bruges at home, again in the Champions League, and then they're against Arsenal away as well. So when you look at the pressure they're under in this competition, I mean, it's inconceivable that the side that won the treble and the side that won this competition 2 seasons ago could go out. Could they?
Yeah, well, obviously they could. But again, we're assuming they're still going to be in this current form. There's still a lot of games to play between now and then, so I'm anticipating a different run of results. And a different run of results means they're going to be more positive. So again, they're going to be a more formidable team to beat and break down. Yes, the PSG game is massive due to it being away, and I think if PSG win that, they go above Man City. So yeah, obviously they're not in a great situation, but we can't just assume and say they're not going to get out of this rut and they're only going to be continuing to lose between now and them games.
I mean, I'd like to get the big games in moments like this. When you've lost a bit of form and confidence, a big game is almost like a free hit in a way. Yeah. You're expected to win the games against the lesser teams, and that adds a different type of pressure again on top of a lack of confidence. When it's like more of an even battle, when it's like, okay, City going to go and have to play Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain, it's a bit of a flip of the coin game at the moment. So it gives you a little bit of kind of ability to relax a little bit into the game, like expectancy, which causes a bit of stress, I think.
They're in this period, and, you know, you go game by game and you think, oh, they're just in a bit of a rut. They're in a bit of a rut. They'll come out of it. It's been 10 games now where they've had just 1 victory. If you're there on the training ground tomorrow, what are you and your colleagues talking about? What are you doing to try and arrest the slide? Where does it come from? You're
trying to identify the habits that are happening in the games and realise how do we stop them. There's going to be moments in games that don't happen every week, so you tend not to stress about them. If there's a an individual mistake, say the last Champions League game when Edison has missed time his header. That doesn't happen every week, so you can forget about them things. It's the things that are happening all the time. Like I said, they are conceding chances from crosses. If you go back to the Spurs game and this game tonight, you're looking and thinking, our timing isn't right. So how do we eradicate that, and how do we improve their moments? So
stopping transitions.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to Pep or to even the players like Gundogan there, transition is one of the main words they're using.
Yeah, communication, whether it's good, it just isn't right. Like we have said on the second goal, they were obviously trying to communicate, but the timing was off. So again, there are things that you can work on and can try and correct. So I think from a professional point of view, they'll be looking at things that are happening more often than they should and try to perfect them.
But you know what it is? That, like I said before, there's enough data and enough videos to be seen now. There's enough people helping these players out to get the right pictures on their iPads and whatnot, on the video screens in the classroom, to see it. The big difference is to actually put that into practice on the pitch and make the right decisions at the right time.
The only thing for that is if you're allowed to do it in repetition. It's all right looking at the data and looking at the video and thinking, yeah, I can see that. But there are times, especially from a defensive point of view, you need to do the reps in order to know, like we're speaking about, backpedaling and understanding what it's like to jump off your back foot when you're running backwards. You can't just be shown that and think that's okay. You have to do that on the training pitch. Like strikers have to practice finishes and variations. Defenders have to practice in order body position to stop crosses, to defend crosses as well. So again, there's a lot of things that are coming into place.
Really quickly, are you angry as one of those players? Are you angry at yourself? Are you angry at the team? Is that something that pushes you then to make the change?
You know, 100%. You're not a successful team like they are without having players that have got a bit of bite about them. There'll be players in there. There's no doubt in my mind Kevin De Bruyne will be fuming walking down that tunnel, throwing his boots about, etc., among others. It's about channeling that in the right way, that you keep people on side. You don't want a divisive lunatic in that change room. You want somebody to constructive criticism, pointing fingers, pulling people out, picking people out, but with the view to kind of making sure you galvanise and you bring people together to actually get yourself back on track.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do, get themselves back on track in all competitions, actually. Up next on TNT Sports.
Martí, que si no está es por motivos de fuerza mayor, así que todo el ánimo para él, un abrazo grande y veremos si su Rayo le puede dar hoy una alegría.
En troncos de Sergio García junto a Verdú, cuando ya se cogen esas cartas secretas. A turno de Aitor Vives, encara Aitor, arriba. Desviado el remate de Aitor Vives, la llega a tocar por Lechuga.
Días en los que quizá podrían haber tenido mejor resultado, los porteros han estado ahí.
Viene el balón para Manu. Precisamente un portero es quien le da el primer gol a Troncos. ¡Gol! En la frontal del área decide combinar sobre la figura de Paul Lechuga. Vértice del área, probará con el regate. No, la cambia entera. ¡Qué balón de Lechuga para Alegre! ¡Para adentro! ¡Gol! Espérate porque viene Fraile, esta línea de fondo la pone Fraile, el balón para Poc, que recorta delante de Ferres. Poc, ¡qué parada abajo! De Manu Martín, lo hizo de fábula.
Ha señalado cesión.
Libre en directo, eso es.
Sí, libre en directo.
Ojo que la pone rápido en movimiento, los Troncos para adentro. Sergio. ¡Gol! Vamos al penalti, presidente. Lo tirará en paralelo a la portería Perchita. Perchita ante Lechuga. Le pega Perchita. ¡Lo ha parado! Con suspense, con incertidumbre, pero acabó sacando finalmente. Pues venga, todo tuyo. Ahí está, algo bajito, capo. Verdú. Contacto con la pelota en el carril central, abre precisamente para Vives. El centro acaba siendo portería porque evitaron que el pase de la muerte pudiese llegar. Pero si eres de Barcelona y quieres vivir la emoción de la última jornada en el Cupra Arena de tanto la Kings League InfoJobs como de la Queens League, puedes entrar también en el centro y el remate. Ahora te lo cuento porque es un golazo. ¡Gol! Frankie Purtí, irá Frankie para darle la vuelta al Rayo. Frankie lo ha parado. Lo ha parado Manu Martín. en la porfía con Ian. En todo caso, no se aplica nada y viene el ataque ahora de los troncos. ¡Lechuga! Román Alegre está bien. Gol doble.
Gol doble para Rayo.
El capitán de los troncos combina con Vives. ¡Lechuga! Era muy difícil porque le botó justo en el momento. Un penalti shootout. Tanto sonoras como lumínicas del Cupra Arena. Sorroche para el tercero. Lechuga. Decide combinar sobre Paul Román. Aparece Román Alegre que filtra el envío. El remate para adentro. ¡Gol de oro! ¡Cántalo! ¡Gol! ¡Gol! Del Rayo de Barcelona. Llegar y besar el santo Joel Paredes.
Frankie, por ti, Prime MVP, por fin ha llegado esa victoria tan esperada para el Rayo.
Sí, ha costado mucho. La verdad que aquí ganar cuesta muchísimo y hay que valorarlo mucho. Y como ha dicho el míster, al final hoy era un partido amistoso que encarábamos como preparación para el partido donde nos jugamos la vida, que es el partido de play-out del Mundial. Y esperemos que esto nos sirva para encarar una buena dinámica y encarar ese partido de la mejor manera posible.
Hoy no ha podido estar el Presi, no sé si nos estará viendo desde casa y no sé si le quieres decir algo.
Yo creo que sí nos estará viendo. Le mando un fuerte abrazo. Esta semana ha sido una semana difícil para él y espero que le anime, tanto la victoria del femenino como la nuestra este fin de semana. Espero que le anime y que le ayude a pasar la semana de la mejor manera posible y decirle que le queremos mucho y que vamos a dar la vida para que el Rayo esté en el Mundial.
Ojalá que así sea. Enhorabuena. Gracias.